So today, we're going over this lesson, Spain's overseas empire. Just know that Spain was now really wanting to establish itself in North America after Columbus had discovered it and started bringing people over here. Now, Spain, as you look on this map, is going to be starting to settle this part down here in what will become Central America, Florida, and even parts of South America. And their first real settlement in what would be now the United States is a place called St. Augustine, Florida. And he called the land he discovered La Florida, which means place of flowers. That's where the name Florida comes from. So Spain is going to create a settlement here they're going to call New Spain. And they were really over here looking for gold, silver, anything like that that could make them rich. And because they were looking for gold and silver, they forced Native Americans to work as slaves on these mines. And a lot of them, the Native Americans, died because of whether it's disease or working too hard or even starvation, not enough food, was causing a lot of problems. And as you can see here, it says colonists arrived. More and more people just keep coming. And they're settling on these places in Spain they called encomiendas. That's this word right here. Encomiendas, large areas of land to the colonists that were coming over here. And as I said, that's on those encomiendas, and the Native Americans that lived on those encomiendas were forced to work. And it was horrible times. And now they're also starting to see enslaved slaves from the continent of Africa, now being brought to what they would call the New World, being brought to the Spanish colonies here, where they were basically forced to work. And some Native Americans and some Africans really tried to fight back against that. And there were some colonists that didn't like that. And some of the colonists that came over that were against that spoke out against these treatment of Native American enslaved Africans was missionaries. A missionary, in this case, a gentleman by the name of Bartholomew de las Casas, their job as a missionary was to try to get people to switch religions. So they were trying to get a lot of these people to become Christians. In New Spain, they had a class system where if you look at the pyramid, the people on the bottom, your Native Americans and enslaved Africans, they're the bottom level. They don't have a lot of power. And as you go up and up and up until you get to the viceroy, that's the leader. So that's how New Spain was set up. You had your leader on the top, your viceroy, and then you had some other groups down below, and all those different descriptions like right here. Its leader was New Spain's ruler, the viceroy. Below him were Spaniards from Spain called peninsulars. Below them were people born in New Spain of Spanish parents called criollos. So those are people that were born in the colony of New Spain. Below them was mestizos. So those are people who are both Spanish and Native American. It means one of their parents was from Spain and one of their parents was a Native American. So they were called mestizos. And then at the bottom, you would have Native Americans and enslaved Africans. So Spain did work hard to create their new settlement, which again, as I said, is called New Spain. And as you can see on here, they took over all of this land down here. And that all started because of Christopher Columbus coming over here and sailing on behalf of Spain when Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand agreed to pay for his voyage. So that's all I really want you to get out of this lesson is knowing that Spain was here. Spain wanted to control as much of the land as possible, and they didn't take long to get people here to get that land for them. Thanks for listening.